It's Sunday and it's time for my mental health vlog, and I'm irritated because I was almost done recording this and then I said my son's name and I tried really hard not to say names on here other than mine, so I was frustrated that I have to start over, but here I am. Let's see, what did I talk about? Got a notice for jury duty this week. Boo. I don't hate jury duty. I've only done it one other time and I got picked as an alternate. So unfortunately, the week that I was initially assigned is a week that I'm supposed to be in Maine on a business meeting all week. So I rescheduled it. And then after I rescheduled it, I realized that I scheduled it for a week in August when I have my next big release at work. So the good news is the week of a release, all of the heavy duty stuff is usually done the week prior. So it's okay if I'm not at work, but I will have to work, the Wednesday night of the release that week that I have jury duty. However, I'm pretty sure if I show up with a blue mohawk and rainbow glasses, I will probably get dismissed from jury duty. So we shall see how that goes. Let's see. So yes, this week was busy because I actually have, speaking of releases, I have a release on Wednesday night for a product within one of the sites that I manage that we've been working on for about 6 months, since January, February. So yeah, about 6 months, and it's been a beast, and it's been a lot of work and a lot of back and forth and a lot of getting things just like the business wants it. Oh, the business doesn't want it that way anymore. Or this is what the business wants. It's not possible. Okay, so why is that not possible? And what are our workarounds? And and we get really, really close to being good, and then we take some steps back. And then we get really, really close to being good, and then we take some steps back. And I'm kind of learning that's just how any project goes. So I had that release on Wednesday night. So I'm really hoping that everything goes well with that, because I'm so tired of seeing this project on my desk. And I know it's not perfect, and I know there's probably going to come, some things are going to come in after we've launched it. Oh, we never thought about this scenario, and somebody ran into this problem. But it's not a client-facing product, it's an internal-facing product, so I'm not too concerned if there are things that we need to enhance or tweak or fix going forward. We at least have a huge product we can push out for the users, so I'm excited about that, and that's been a lot of work. So that's releasing on Wednesday night. On Tuesday, I have a meeting with the business on, a while ago I talked about the fact that I had a concept and an idea for how to change the way our company is handling a certain function, which was not being managed very well, not being monitored very well, and costing a huge amount of money each month. And I've been working pretty hard on finding ways to centralize and control and change the product. And the business liked my idea and my concept, and they wanted to move forward with it. So that's what I've been working on. One of my other projects I've been working on at work. And it's, oh man. I say that this project is like an onion, because every time I peel away a layer, I find a new layer, and it makes me cry. It's been a massive undertaking, but I finally have everything I know of together, and I'm presenting that to the business this week to get their sign off officially, so I can start with all the changes and stuff that I want to make. I can start ironing that out, how that's going to look, when it's going to happen, and I can have the green light to make it happen. So pretty excited about that on Tuesday, but also a little nervous because I don't know. I feel like I've done all the work and all the research. And I even had my boyfriend review, my stuff for it, and he's like, this is great. So fingers crossed that works out well. Speaking of work, my boyfriend was telling me about a designation for project managers called PMP that I want to look into, and I had to write it down just now because the biggest lie I tell myself is I will remember that. Insert Samuel L. Jackson's voice of a narration. Jordan did not, in fact, remember that, because I never do. And work has been telling me to let them know if there's any classes I want to take. So, and they're willing to pay for me to develop and grow and get that education. So absolutely, why not take advantage of that? So I will be looking into that this week, I think, between projects and fires and chaos. Met with my psychiatrist this week, last week. Don't remember. So I may have talked about this last weekend. And we decided to take me off of the extended release Focalin, which was causing a lot of issues, anger and sharp temper and irritability and all that kind of stuff that I have normally. I don't need it to be exacerbated. So we changed up the way I'm taking the Focalin, and that seems to be working really well. I take one pill in the morning. I got it in my pill caddy. I take it every morning, no problem. And then during the week when I'm working and I need the extra boost of focus, I'll take another pill around 12 or 1, and that will help me get through the rest of the afternoon. And it doesn't make me irritable, and it's not messing with my appetite, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm pretty happy thus far with how that is working out. On Wednesday night, this week, my boyfriend and I had a really tough conversation about our budgets and our finances. And I say tough because he has spent a lot of work analyzing where our money is going, when it's coming in, what we're spending it on. He is really, really, really good at that. I am really, really not good at that. So it's great that he can do that. And I kind of get an overview of, okay, this is where we're spending our money. And we both are, guilty of overspending where we shouldn't, or not thinking things through when making purchases. One of the things I was talking to my sponsor about, while working on my step 4, was compulsive shopping. I'm not a shopaholic. That, I don't believe that's another 12-step program I need to go down, but there is some compulsivity to, Amazon is the enemy. Like, oh, look, here's a coupon for this. I don't need this, but I could use it one day, and let's get it because it's 50% off. It's math, look it up. No, it's that's not the only area where we're, having a problem, but I think we decided that the number one thing that we could do to help alleviate our budget and kind of balance things out is to go down to a 1-vehicle household, which makes sense because I work from home permanently. I have for 14, 15 years now. I have no idea, no concept of time. And I only leave the house like on Thursday nights for my meeting and Fridays to pick up my son. And then we all do stuff together on the weekends. So, there might be some inconveniences here and there, and we may have to take an Uber here and there, if one of us is using the vehicle, but it shouldn't be that bad. And we've gotten several offers, because I've got the Telluride that we've had for just about a year, and we've gotten offers to have it bought that are higher than what we paid for it, because dealerships are hurting so bad for vehicles right now. So it just made sense. I get my deposit from the vehicle back, we get extra money in the budget, and it hits 3 things in our budget right away. Car payment goes down by half. Car insurance goes down by about half. And gas for the car goes down by half. So it just made the most sense. You gotta do what you gotta do in these trying times. Let's see, this weekend was actually fun because this weekend was my ex's birthday weekend. The schedule was changed just a little bit so he could have some extra time with my son, with our son, so that made sense. So picked up my son on Saturday morning at his Taekwondo class, and we just chilled around the house and played some games and stuff on Saturday. Saturday night, when I agreed to this schedule change, I was not paying attention to our schedule that my boyfriend had actually bought us tickets to go see RuPaul's Work the World tour, which happened to be on Saturday night. So I didn't want to go back on my agreement with my ex, where I told him I could watch him, and then I can't. So we reached out to Chris's parents, who love my son, and my son really seems to like them, if they would be willing to watch him on Saturday evening while we were at the concert, which is great because they were actually very close to where the concert was. And they were thrilled. They made cookies, they played in the pool, they watched some TV, and my son said he had a great time. And when we went to pick him up, and everyone said it was great, everyone had a great time. Awesome. And then brought him home, and he crashed, as I knew he would, because it was about an hour and a half past bedtime. And then today we woke up and got some lunch, and we went to Dave & Buster's. We did some virtual reality stuff. I say we. I only did one virtual reality thing. I get motion sickness. I did one. That was all I could handle. I took the headset off and I'm all sweaty and I'm like, this is not good. I always tell myself I'll be fine. And Jordan was not, in fact, fine. But my son and my boyfriend had a great time on the VR stuff, and then we played some games, and I beat my son on one of the games we were playing together, which happens, and he kind of was a poor sport about it, and I don't deal with that. I don't like that. I don't manage that. So I let him just go and cool off, and then when he was done having his little tantrum, then we would talk and be civil, and we would play something else. But I that's not something that I encourage or want to deal with or give any attention to. And I think that's kind of where I am in the parenting skill. I want to reward and focus on the things he's doing right. And I will advise him if there are things he is doing that I don't think are right. But I won't give them a lot of attention. I will fully monitor those things from a distance. Don't get it twisted. I will watch those things from a distance. But I want him to see where he's getting my attention, and I want him to make sure he's getting it on the positive things he's doing and not the negative. So we'll see if that works. Parenting does not come with a handbook. Lots of people have written books, but we all know I'm not going to read them. So go with the flow. The puppies have gotten great together. I say puppies. One of them is 4 years old. One of them is almost 8, I think. But they're starting to really actually like each other, not just tolerate each other, actually like each other, and they're doing things together, and they're showing interest in the same things, and they're chasing squirrels in the backyard together, which all the squirrels around here just hate us, and yet they continue to come back. But they're even like when we're in the recliners together, it's a 2-person recliner, and Stella's in my lap, and Locke is in my boyfriend's lap, and they're fine together. So, and even with my son here, I was worried that the corgi would, because the corgi loves my son. Like, he is one of his people. He is a prime resource. And I was afraid that, if my son were petting Locke or giving attention to Locke and Stella were to come up, that Locke might snap because, she doesn't want to share my son. No, they're totally fine now. So I've any stress I had about them getting along is gone. And Stella, her personality is just totally developing, and she's coming out of her shell. And she's fun, and she's playful, and she loves tug of war. She likes to play fetch. Whenever she's excited, she just completely stretches out her body. Like, completely. Legs out back, arms out forward, tail going crazy, which makes it very challenging to put a harness on when you're ready for a walk. But she's great, and my aunt said, she's loved, and it shows. And I think that's it. I'm so happy we were able to give her a safe, loving home for the rest of her life that I don't think she had before. So very thrilled about that. The only other thing I have that I wanted to talk about, and this is something that, please pass this message along. Starting on July 16th, which was yesterday, the suicide emergency hotline is no longer a 1-888 number. It now is a 3-digit number that can be accessed from any phone inside of the United States. Like we have 911 for emergency, we have 411 for information. The suicide emergency hotline is now 988. So, as a very fortunate survivor of a suicide attempt, I really want to make sure that everyone has every resource available if they need help. So please pass that along, make a Facebook post or whatever, or however you spread news. Just let people know that that number has changed so it's easily accessible. And with the direction that certain things are happening in this country with regards to a lot of minorities and unrepresented groups, I do get scared that kids in general are going to see that they're not supported, they're not comfortable, they're not safe, and they're going to think that suicide is an option for them. And I never want that to be an option for anyone. So please pass that on. That 988 is a huge resource for them if they need it in their time of need. And that is all I have. So check on your friends, make sure they're doing okay. I'm turning into my mother. We always used to say that she couldn't go anywhere without running into someone she knew. The concert, the RuPaul's Work the World tour that we went to on Saturday night. So not only did I see someone, I'm like, that's a friend of mine's husband. I know them. And I texted them and see if they were there, and sure enough, they were there. So not only are there's two other people over there that I know, literally in the row behind me, 3 seats over, I hear someone call my name in the middle of one of the breaks, and it's another friend of mine. And I'm like, Jesus, I can't go anywhere without seeing someone I know. And it's not like this was in Houston. This is like 15 miles outside of Houston. So anyway, that was funny. I'm turning into mom. Check in your family, make sure they're doing okay. Checked my mom today. Today's a little awkward day for her. So I just sent her a text message letting her know I was thinking about her and I would be here to support her if she needed it. And check on yourself. I've been doing much better about my self-care. We talked about self-care in the budget to make sure that we were still able to do things like haircuts and you know, maybe not fancy manicures, but a simple manicure, you know, just making sure that we realize that self-care is still a critical item to have in the budget, and that's something that you need to focus on. But yes, check on yourself. And that's it. All right, guys, I love you. Thanks for listening to me ramble, as always, and I will check in with you all next week. Bye.